represents sad emotions. For example, sick, bored, sad, or worried.
The green colour represents calmness and normality. This is when you're feeling some sort of happy emotion.
The yellow colour represents frustration and anxiousness. This is when you start to slip into the red zone. If you don't act on these emotions, then you will go into the red zone.
Red is when you're out of control with anger, you will start to do things you will later regret. The zones of regulation help you with your mental health. It helps when you need to get out of the red zone and back to green.
The zones help you to understand your emotions. It is good practice to get into a routine of using this. Here are some of our words with the zones of regulation.
In computing, you'll be learning how to create a quiz on Scratch.
We have been exploring our coding blocks and thinking of questions to ask our users.
We have used the if-else coding block to tell the users the answer is right or wrong.
We have added sound blocks to accompany our right and wrong answers.
We have learned to duplicate coding blocks to save us from having to add each block one at a time.
Here's an example of our quiz.
Here is our code for the Scratch quiz.
Okay, so this is our quiz. So 7 times 12 is 84, so type that in. Then it will say correct, well done. And then it would cheer to show you got it right.
Then if you were to get something wrong, so 3 times 9 would be 27, but if I were to put 28, it would make this noise. We've been enjoying learning about Scratch this term.
In history this term, we have been researching women who have made a difference in the world. I believe Florence Nightingale is the most inspiring woman since she helped wounded soldiers in the Crimean War.
In our lessons, we've been creating timelines that show some of the most incredible women who have made a difference in many people's lives. Here are some examples. We were given pictures of 17 women and had to order them from earliest to least according to the era they lived in.
After that, we used a diagram called the Diamond Line to rank women who we felt had the greatest to the least impact in women's lives. As a group, we decided who had the most impact, and they were placed at the top of our Diamond Line, while the woman who had the least impact was placed at the bottom.
We wrote an explanation of why we decided to rank each woman as we did. We have enjoyed our history topic and have learned a great deal about the lives of famous women.
During our science lesson, we have been learning about light and reflections and how light rays allow us to see objects.
When light emits from a light source, it travels in a straight line until it hits an object. There are many light sources, both natural and man-made, but it is important not to get them mixed up with reflectors. Light sources emit light rays, yet reflectors reflect light.
Natural light sources include the sun, stars, fire, and some insects like fireflies and glowworms. Man-made sources include torches and light bulbs.
We made our very own periscopes. Periscopes were used in World War I and World War II to see above trenches. Periscopes are like telescopes. They are made with 2 mirrors that reflect light off each other to enable the user to see around corners.
We use our knowledge of reflection to create illusions with water. Watches will make this arrow change direction. As you can see, the arrow is pointing left. When we put it behind the water, it is pointing right.
Refraction occurs when light bends. Light bends when it travels through materials with different densities.
In our lessons this term, we have been learning about eternity. Eternity means everlasting. The Christian symbol of this is a wedding ring. It has no beginning or end.
We have learnt about love and how some people believe that love will last forever. Annabelle and Phoebe will now read you a piece from their book about this subject.
A Christian might say that love is everlasting, because at the wedding they will say to love and to cherish till death parts us. And even when they die, they will still wear their wedding rings to show that they still love each other.
We wrote about Christian idea of love and added our own opinions on the eternal nature of love.
I believe that love lasts forever, because when I die, I will always love my family and friends. When my soul is carried, I will remember those who love me, and I will love them back for eternity. I will always love God.
We have really enjoyed learning about this topic, and we have had some great discussions about it.
In maths this term, we've been looking at decimals.
We have knowledge organisers in our books which help us with our learning. This is what they look like.
Also, we have been using decimal rules to represent the whole being broken down into decimal parts.
We have been looking at Katengo charts to help us multiply and divide by 10, 100 and 1000.
We have been using decimal squares to help us add and subtract decimals. This is what they look like.
Now I'll show you how to do 4.37 times 3. First, you have to do 0.07 times 3, which is 0.21. We'll have to put the 2 at the bottom as a remainder because we haven't done the 0.3 times 3 yet. Now we have to do 0.3 times 3, which is 0.9, plus the extra 2 remaining, which is 1.1. Now we have to do 4 times 3, which is 12, plus the 1 remainder is 13. Altogether, the answer is 13.11.
Hey, drop the B. Listen to our ring because decimals are a thing. Multiplication, addition, division, subtraction. When you're stuck on a question, your brain goes bing. All you have to do is listen to us sing. Multiplication, addition, division, subtraction. We don't care about COVID. It doesn't affect us, right? We just answer the question and get them all right. Now learn the ring. Thanks for listening to us sing.
In guided reading, we've been reading about The Amazing Book Holes by Louise Scarr.
We have been examining the text and referring to it in our answers.
We have been following Stanley Yelnats' dramatic experience at Cadbury Lake.
Did you know that Stanley backwards is Yelnats and that's his last name?
In Camp Green Lake, Stanley is treated as an equal among his campmates, whereas at home he was bullied for being overweight and poor.
Stanley Yelnats has bad luck, which is all because of his no good, dirty, rotten, pig-stealing great-great-grandfather. But Stanley's bad luck unfairly lands him in Juvenile Detention Centre, Camp Green Lake, a very weird place that isn't green and doesn't have a lake. He and his campmates, Zero, X-Ray, Armpit, Squid, Magnet and Zigzag, are forced to dig holes in order to build character. But what are they really digging for?
We've been enjoying this book very much, and we've been enjoying this book very much, and we're looking forward to reading it, to finishing it next term.
English, we've been writing a discussion text. We have been learning about Macbeth and discussing if he should kill King Duncan or not.
In our discussion text, we have been writing reasons for and against this despicable crime.
Macbeth is a Shakespearean play written in 1606 about a brave warrior contemplating whether he should commit murder to become king.
Today we will discuss the reasons for and against Macbeth murdering King Duncan.
It is well known that Macbeth is close friends with King Duncan, so some argue that the idea of killing him is ludicrous. Firstly, King Duncan is an innocent man and has done nothing to deserve this, and murdering him will turn Macbeth into a guilty loner for the rest of his life. Additionally, killing Duncan could have him sent to prison or executed, as this is an extreme act of treason, and in 1606, if you were discovered to have committed an act of treason, you would be killed. As well as this, the prophecy the witches gave him said he would become king. It did not say that he had to murder the previous king.
On the other hand, Macbeth is a strong and noble warrior who fights valiantly for his country. Many people believe that Macbeth should kill King Duncan because he would make an exceptional king. He's a loyal, mighty man who would lead his people into battle and then will become victorious. Lady Macbeth is a cruel, power-hungry woman. She's manipulating Macbeth into committing treason. If Macbeth were to listen to her, he would not crumble. We will also be acting our version of the story of Macbeth.
Hello, King Duncan. Set up.
We would like to see King Duncan.
You cannot see him. He is in bed. And anyway, what could you possibly want to see him for? And also, who are you at this hour?
Well, we are the hosts of the party, and we're checking in on everyone to make sure our loyal guests get to sleep perfectly fine and everything's just right.
My apologies.
No, my apologies. We'll give you some tea so you're alert for the night, because, you know, round here it's really scary at night time.
Is it from the party?
Yes, of course.
Then yes, good. Thank you, thank you. Oh, that one tasted funny.
Good night, King Duncan.
You've just witnessed Macbeth and Lady Macbeth killing the guards and King Duncan. Macbeth did this to gain power. Our group believes that Macbeth should frame one of the guards by leaving a dagger beside him.
We hope you have learned something about Macbeth.
During our recent art lessons, we've been learning about digital art. Digital art is a combination of two different subjects, art and computing. It can be interpreted in different ways, like online or as an object. In 2 years' time, a digital art museum will open in London, one of the first. Here are some examples of digital artists. Lisa Parks is a digital artist who created a device to make water move with her brain activity.
Einstein County sketches designs and uses an app called Photoshop to make her pictures come to life.
This piece by Halu Lasu is made entirely of pixels. And finally, this piece by Eric Johnson is made from many different pictures merged together. It takes about 5 months to create one picture. We have all been enjoying our art lessons, and we hope you all have too.
Thank you for